just watching you leave. How could you love somebody like me? Could you love somebody like me? Could you? How could you love somebody like me? I'm not worthy. I haven't touched your body in weeks, 'cause I'm not worthy. And though you try, you could never fix me. I know you wanna believe I could've hurt somebody so sweet, but baby, won't you ride with me? I wanna feel good when I'm making you feel. I wanna feel pretty, baby, can you teach me? Don't wanna be dramatic, but I swear if you leave, I'll be broken. How could you love somebody like me? Trying to be cool, but it's making you weak. I could've hurt somebody so sweet, but it's turning me on just watching you leave. How could you love somebody like me? Trying to be cool, but it's making you weak. I could've hurt somebody so sweet, but it's turning me on just watching you leave. Could you love somebody like me? Could you love somebody like me? Could you?
Ah, so good. Ah, hey, goddesses. It is so good to see everyone. Ebony, I love your little nickname, Ebby. I've never seen you go by that. I love it. Yeah, it's so good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, goddesses. Well, let's just take a second. We'll take two or three brags. If you have some and don't get to share, drop them in the thread and then we'll dive in. But who is like bursting to brag?
Yeah.
Ooh, Robin.
Hey, so after quite a few years of wanting to do this, but scheduling never aligned, Friday I am actually finally achieving, a desire of mine, and I am getting my level 1 and level 2 Reiki certification. So excited to kind of move forward with that healing journey. I mean, for myself and close friends and relatives and what have you, but perhaps to expand beyond that and to see, where else it could take me. Yeah.
So brilliant. Oh my gosh. It's like hearing you say that too. I mean, I know I don't know you super well, but from what I like the frequency you give off, I would have imagined you'd already have it. So it
No,
feels
but
like it's so perfect.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Enjoy.
Yes.
G. Hey, Queen.
Hello. Greetings from Maui. Yes, my brag. So I'm in this like container that's like a coaching container to help me be seen and be more audacious in my visibility. And so I am taking a big dick swing and going out to New York for like a retreat next month. And so I lined that up. That's like a big deal to me. It's a little very far to travel, et cetera, et cetera. And I lined up a client. I didn't do it. The universe did, like on the way out for an immersive. So literally all my flights are covered, and just to get to drop into that before I go do something that's going to be a huge expansion for me is like so fucking tasty. I'm really excited about it.
So good. And I feel like this is like the beauty and mastery of like, being the entrepreneur. And I always think this about traveling too. Like, my coaches are always like, Meg always makes money when she travels. But you're in this, like, because you're in an expansion field, right? Like, you were literally stepping into this new experience. And so to be able to like harness that field of possibility and see, oh my gosh, in like this is the perfect time to also weave in an immersive with a client. So celebrating you is going to be so good. And I can feel that so much more will come from this for you. Okay, let's do one more. Ebby, I feel like since you've been calling to me right as we hopped on. Oh, here. This might help. Oh, hang on. I think I just muted you. That's you unmuted.
Okay, can
There
you
we
hear
go.
me? Okay. I just want to say I am so happy to be in this container. I brag that I'm here. I've had 3 deaths and I'm feeling normal somewhat now. And while I was going through my phases, I decided to just go ahead and launch my program. So I have a quiz that I'm doing. It's called the Love Pattern Blueprint. And then I have a Love Reset Live that I will be doing in April. So I'm excited about that.
So good. And I love how you just said that. I just decided to go ahead and launch my program. Celebrating you, gorgeous goddess. May it be so abundant. Okay. Actually, and I love that just coming to what you did say there too, Evie, of like, I just decided to go ahead and launch the thing. I feel like is actually really perfect with what we're going to play with energetically today. So today's theme being showing up when you don't want to. And I feel like that probably resonates for all of us because we probably feel like I feel this all the time. So we're going to play into, it's not so much, well, yeah, not so much a turn on practice, but it's definitely, we're going to go through an embodiment practice that is going to allow us to just like feel into our bodies and play with feeling what we're doing quite often and might not realize that we're doing. So the essence behind this, so when we are in a place where we are feeling like we don't want to show up, and this is also that other piece of why pleasure is a discipline, is the energetics that pleasure is, it's not neutral, right? Pleasure, and many of you have heard me say this already. I really like to personify my relationships with a non-person beings of things like pleasure, desire, money, abundance, because it really allows me to then, like, I feel like when I can actually realize that, okay, these are energies, and if I treat them like people, I personally have a much deeper understanding of why a relationship may or may not be working. So pleasure, in the sense, if we personify pleasure, she is not neutral, right? She is like any other person. She's responsive. She's actually hungry for us. She's wanting to meet you. But just like any other person, she's only going to move when she actually feels like she's going to be let in. So just as we operate with people that we encounter, so our partners, sisterhood and friendships, colleagues, our bosses, right? No one, there's going to be times, depending on how we show up energetically, also in the ways that we are speaking to pleasure, that really allows us to sort of see where we are in this relationship. And so we're going to play around with what happens when we are teasing pleasure, but also like bracket resisting her, and versus when we're actually open to her. And then there's an element, oh my gosh, I feel like we could spiral into a whole bunch of other things off of this, because we're always going to feel resistance sometime. Sometimes our responsibility is to figure out how to be aware when we're being in resistance. And we also don't want to bypass resistance, because that won't work. But how do we actually get into right alignment? And sometimes we're going to play with that today. We can actually, how do we allow ourselves, like the alignment comes when we actually go, shit, I'm in resistance, but how do I get okay with the fact that I am in resistance? Because once we get okay with it, then it's not something that we're judging as something that's wrong that we're doing. And pleasure doesn't, like, that's the thing. If we're in resistance and we're saying, oh, pleasure is wrong, right? If she was a person and we were saying, well, it's wrong for our relationship, right? If we were telling that to a person, what would they, oh shit. Well, great. That feels good, right? Like, oh, you're telling me I'm wrong. Okay. So this is what we're going to play with. So let's just go right in. And so this is where we're going to play with first is actually the resistance. And so what I would love is for us to just go around the space and think of what you are saying. And it's usually what we're saying to ourselves when we have to show up for pleasure. It could be when we have to show up for a sister, for work, for our kids. Let's just popcorn a couple things that we might say. I'm going to try and get them in the chat as we share. And be like, don't try to change it. Like, purely what comes out of your mouth. Like, for me, it would be like, oh, it could be, I'm so tired. I'm just so tired. I really don't want to have to, I'm so tired. I'd love to cancel the thing. Right. So that could be one very realistic thing that I would say. I've got others, but let's see what else we have here.
I can share. I have so much to do that sometimes I don't know where to begin.
Right. Oh, so it's almost like I have so much to do, I just shouldn't even begin.
Yeah, but yeah, like throw in the towel, pick up the book,
Just
whatever.
quit while you're ahead.
Quit. Yeah.
Yeah. So good. Okay. Perfect. Nicole.
Or that I don't have the capacity.
So good. Okay, Mooney.
That it doesn't matter.
If you show up?
Yeah,
Ooh.
like it's not that important, like to prioritize pleasure or overcome the resistance, whatever. Yeah.
Okay, so great. Any other that come up? You've touched on some of the other ones that would be G.
It isn't going to be worth my time.
I know where the practice is going, and my body is like feeling the things that are being shared. This is so good.
I was hitting this morning that I'm going to get bored. It's boring, but I want to do it. It's boring.
Oh, it's too boring. I don't want to do it. Great. Okay, this is great. I think so. If you have more, pop them in the chat. I'm so tired. I just have so much to do. I don't have the capacity. This doesn't matter. It's not that important. Not worth my time. That just feels too boring. Okay, let's pick one. I don't have the capacity. Let's start with that one. Okay, so now we're all going to imagine ourselves as pleasure. Oh, Joanna, that's a great one too. Oh, it's just too overwhelming. Okay, so now we're all going to put ourselves in the body of pleasure, right? And imagine that we just told pleasure, I don't have the capacity for you. So just imagine someone just said that to you. You don't even have to put yourself in the body of pleasure. Keep yourself as you are. Someone just said, I don't have capacity for you. Now let's hear what, again, without trying to dim it, what would you like, what would your very honest first response want to be if someone told you, I don't have capacity for you? Geez, the finger, a great one. Yep, we get that. Go ahead and unmute.
I mean, that would simply be like, well, fuck you. I mean, just that would be my, like, if you don't have capacity for me, I don't have capacity for you, I think would be my knee jerk, like without thinking about it, you know?
Perfect. Yeah. So almost just like a total mirror reflection of, whoa, then I don't have capacity for you, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. If there's the resistance that's, you would almost just be completely shut down, which I'm seeing the, whoever wrote wow, I saw that somewhere, right? Like just, that's like a whole system. Oh my God, you don't even have words, right? Like someone was just like, I don't have capacity for you. It's that immediate shrink. It's truly painful. The contraction that just would, like you can feel it through your system. Um, yeah, I love Joanna, even if you just said literally that, right? Like, wow, okay, that makes me feel totally rejected. Oh, I feel completely stunned. Um, this makes me want to go cry, right? Like these could be all very simple reflections. Let's keep playing. Also, for those of you who are empaths and feeling this in your bodies, I'm sorry, but also not sorry. Told you we were going to play with feeling it. Okay, so I don't have the capacity. Um, oh, let's go with this one. So now someone tells you, well, it's just not that important for me to give you the time. What would your first response be? This hurts me. Tears coming up. I feel so devalued. I feel rejected. Oh, anger. Sandra, so if you were to put a sentence to the anger that comes up, where are you there? What do you think would be behind the anger?
It was just so visceral in my body. I actually don't have words. That was like instantly, I just felt so much just uh, like, I felt like I would feel that and then turn it inwards, is how it felt.
Ugh,
Like in my body, when I heard that sentence, it was like so much rage that I would hurt myself with it. I would turn it in.
right. Oh, wait, you mean like the thing that we've just done for like decades, right? Where we just like swallow it and bottle it and store it in our poor, powerful pussies? Right. Yeah. And all the things that you're listing here, right? Like, oh shit, this brings up feelings of unworthiness. Oh, here's that feeling of not being, I feel like you don't see me. I don't feel respected. Joanna, this person must not be for me after all. I mean, that's a very, um, without letting the shock and the feelings overcome us, that would be a very healthy response for us to be able to get to, right? And I think this one's very important because, again, if we are showing up for our pleasure in resistance, this is pleasure's response, right? Pleasure is literally thinking, well, maybe you're not for me after all. So we can see where pleasure, just to tie it back to that piece, right? Pleasure is literally going and shrinking away. I think of, the conversations that I've had in Sacred Seductress with women, conversations in the Erotic Temple yesterday, right? Like these feelings when we feel numb, closed, shut down, the disconnection, and this longing of like, when can I actually have it and feel it and let myself have all of it? Like they're so real. We are always I feel like that's the thing with pleasures, because we always can have more. But if we're coming at it from this voice where we're still in resistant and saying these things like, I don't have time for you. Um, I don't have time. This doesn't feel important. Well, you bore me. Imagine pleasure. Like, actually, let's take pleasure for a second, which is like pleasure. And we're like, you're too boring for me. I'm just worried that I'll be bored. Could you imagine like pleasure as like the cortisone of all time? And she's like, how appalled. Wait, you're telling me I'm boring? She's like the least boring thing. And we're telling her that I don't think I should reach for you because you're too boring. Like, oh my God. Even and this is why it's so good to put ourselves in these shoes, right? Because like what happens when someone were to literally to our face say, well, you're boring. Well, I love this one because you'll get this as a business owner, right? Like, well, I'm so busy. Well, aren't you busy? Like, what woman here in this room do we know who does not have an insanely busy schedule, right? Um, but it's all of these feelings. It triggers all of this stuff. Like, oh, well, then I should shrink. Oh, this is painful. I'm hurt. I feel rejected. I feel like you're not seeing me. All of this. And that just feeds, like, we're doing it, but our pleasure lives inside of us. So it's like we're just doing this to parts of ourselves. Okay. So I feel like we are definitely all tapped into this. Oh, Mooney. And oh yeah, and then we could just go. I mean, there's always somewhere our mind will take us. Mooney put, well, I must want too much, right? But again, this is the thing, it's like our desires are what are leading us. Like we can never ask for too much. And also we know that the universe and pleasure responds to like the most out, it responds to what we ask for. So we should be as audacious with our requests as we desire to be, because it is what guides response. Before we shift from this, because we are going to turn it on, I'm not going to leave you here, but we are going to start to turn it on with, we can, because you are all masters of pleasure here, we can turn it into a tease. So, how can we, again, at a mastery level, take these responses of, well, you're boring, or it doesn't feel important. Could we tease ourselves, because it's all just coming from us in our response? So, for example, like we can still feel the hurt and the contraction, but we could just be like, oh, I know how badly you want me. And this is so cute of you to just like not let me touch you. See how I kept my turn on in it? Oh, I'm not important to you, but I actually know how much you want me and you love just like teasing me with not letting me touch you yet. Or also if we feel the resistance, well, I would love to come closer, but I know you would just pull away. So we take the things that it's giving us, that the resistance is giving us, and actually the things that might literally be hurting us, and how can we turn it on? Who wants to take a swing? Who are our teases in the room? I know I'm like looking at everybody. Who isn't the tease in this room? Who wants to play? Pick one of the things from the top in our thread. So it was the time, or too boring, not important.
I'll be the tease.
Okay, give it to us, Eddie.
So you don't have the capacity for me? How about you come over here and play with me and let's see what happens?
So good. So good. And you are transitioning into there's openness. What I like in that is you didn't even stay, you started to go from closed to open because you are a master at this. So good.
Meg, can you give me quick context? I forgot about that you guys changed the time, so I read a little bit late. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So we're playing around with, so when you are, when uh this is the pleasure is a discipline, right? And so how do we show up when we don't want to? So we're playing around with um the language that we would say when we are in resistance to something. And so we're personifying pleasure. And so we've come up with this list of, I don't know if you were there for when we ran through the list, but we had things like, well, what are our excuses? I'm so tired. Well, I just have so much to do. I don't have the capacity. This doesn't matter. It doesn't feel important. Right. So if we let ourselves be pleasure for a second, which we don't even really have to put ourselves in pleasure's shoes, if someone said those things to you that come from resistance, what would it's like feeling, letting ourselves feel like, well, what would pleasure want to say to us? But so we had the direct, okay, if someone were to say that, this is the very true response. Now we're playing with the mastery level of how do we actually get to turn this on, even if still in resistance, because we're just playing with the mastery of um, being masters of pleasure right now. So Mooney, give us yours.
Really? You don't have the capacity. You don't have time. Oh, you're so busy. You're too busy for this. You're too busy for this.
Literally just turned on what they were saying. So this is, both of you did such a great job in just showing what happens. Like this was that piece of we don't want to bypass the resistance. So you just figured out how to find being right or being okay with the resistance. Let's take one more flirty goddess. You are doing so good. Lee, I know you flirt.
No,
Give us
I put two in the chat. It's like, oh, I'm so sad. I could cry. Why won't you let me make you bring you to tears? Or I am so unworthy. Maybe I can earn my worth.
ooh, yeah. Okay, so good. So now let's just see, right? Like again, keep yourself in this role of pleasure. So you can see how if we are just like straight up honest, I mean, and all of this is okay because we all find ourselves here. But if we are without pleasure, speaking to our pleasure, you can see how we would just totally contract, right? And pleasure would not want to come find us. But for everyone who just gave us the flirty version, if you were pleasure, do you feel a little bit tempted? A little bit, right? Like, because the tease is there. So even if you're in resistance, can you feel how all of a sudden there's like a longing or a curiosity that gets piqued? Okay. So now let's just play. So this was just from a place of resistance, which we are all familiar with. The other side of this, and we're just doing this just so we can feel, because again, I just think this is really valuable for us to be able to just, I mean, we want relationships with all these things, whether it is pleasure, abundance, money, love, right? So it's just good for us to recognize that, okay, we're always in communication. So what we're going to play with now is from that devotional aspect. So Ebony, you kind of started to do this because you actually, in the way you phrased it, you were like, you actually kind of indicated, well, I'm open, right? The other ones like Mooney and Lee, both of you did a great job at staying closed, but still making it tantalizing because you just embraced the tease. With the devotional side, it's like where we actually devotional, I can almost say like dependable even, but it's where we just we start to open a door to pleasure. So it would be like any of those things that we had initially just said. Um, I'm just so exhausted today, but I'm here. Or it could even just be saying we might be at max capacity and just saying to someone, I want you to know I'm here. It's maybe all that you've got. And it's just saying, it's just a simple check in, I'm here. Or owning the truth, I feel totally empty, but this is important. So let's again either unmute or pop in the thread some of these things that we can phrase where we are showing up in devotion. So we don't want to, we're still resistant, but we are choosing to be here. She's giggling. You must have something good. Nicole, give me one.
Oh, geez, this is like the story of my life. I guess I would say I don't want to, but I'm open to trying.
Open to trying. Perfect. Lexiana.
It's not a great circumstance, but I'll find a balance.
I'll find a balance. Sandra also had, I don't have time, but you really matter. And I will be present for you as soon as I can. That's so good. So it's like there's the space holding happening. Joanna, this one is just taking so whatever your resistance would be, your resistance to showing up for pleasure, but allowing yourself to be open to it. So what would you say is where you own your resistance, but then allow yourself to show up? Any others? Mooney?
I feel scared that I won't be good enough, but I want to be there and try.
What I love about all of these too is everyone is like so clearly owning the resistance. It's already scheduled and I want to keep my commitments. I'm depressed, but I'll always be here and ready when you are. Yeah, that's like that devotional but dependable piece. Okay, these are perfect. So let's play with these. So now, again, yourself as pleasure. Oh, Joanna, we'll read yours too. I'm trying my best, and I know that's good enough. And I can even think some of you have come to some of these calls, and these have been like your brags, you know? Um, I'm here. It's like that brag, you know what? I'm here. I knew it was going to be good. Um, so let's go. So we're just doing the same thing. So we'll take one of these. And now, so again, if someone said this to you, let's play around with what would be your response if someone said one of these things to you. Let's go with, okay, let's do Laura's. So if someone said to you, I'm depressed, but I'll always be here. What would your fully first response, authentic um, response be to that? I don't know, Lexiana, if your hand is up or if that was from before.
Nope,
Appreciation.
sorry, it's up from before.
Yeah, appreciate. I would feel appreciation for the devotion of them showing up for me, even in the midst of dealing with their own thing. But also, I recognize that we're fully capable of being depressed and turned on. So I'm like, that sucks that you're kind of just thinking that like depression is the important thing. Thank you for naming that. And let's fuck.
Yes. Let's use the medicine that is the best in this situation. Yeah. Nothing better than like a good rage fuck or depressed fuck. Yeah. To remedy the depression. So good. Okay. So yeah. So it's like you feel good. It's like, oh my God, this was hard for you to be here. And so it's almost like you feel more seen because it's like, oh, this is hard for you and you're still here for me. Any other quick lines that you feel like let be in your flirt, in your pleasure queen, how would you respond to someone who said, I'm depressed, but I'll always be here for you? How would that make you feel? Lee just did the like clutch the heart and just like melt under their gaze.
I think I'd be like, damn girl. Like it would bring up a certain like admiration for this like person's ability.
Okay.
I'd just be like humans business, you know?
Perfect. And in the thread we're getting things like, oh, just as simple, like Nicole would, someone like you would just be like, oh my God, thank you. Or you feel the feeling would be resonance. It develop this empathy for their honesty. Ooh, the I love you. Yeah, like it does a thing. It's like how Lee clutched her heart, right? Like, oh my God, now there is something between us. That feeling, Abby put like, I see you and I'm here for you. Oh, so it's like deepens almost the reciprocity, right? Like I'm here for you, makes you want to be there for them. Okay, these are so good. Let's play with another one. Mooney, yours was good. Where did it go? Um, oh, I was scared to be honest, but I wanted to try. That wasn't the one that I remember.
It was scared I won't be good enough, but I want to show up anyway.
Oh yeah, that's the one. Okay, so if someone said, I'm scared I won't be good enough, but I wanted to show up anyway, to you, how would you meet them? I feel like too, just like think if you were like meeting a really rad woman on the spot and that was like the thing they said to you, like imagine you're at an event and this was like an icebreaker and it was like, how are you feeling? And someone said that. I'm so scared I'm not going to be enough, but I'm here to try this exercise with you.
That feels like immediate heart opening for me. It's just like,
Yeah. Like if that person was in front of you, wouldn't you just like full embrace them? I feel like it would be like for sure a hands-on response for me. Consent first.
Yeah, I would just be like, I'm feeling fear and not good enough alongside of you. And I'm walking into it with you. Take my hand. It's like away we go. Yeah.
Yeah, the take my hand. Love that. Heidi, let's vibe. We'll take it slow and let's get you out of your head. Okay, so much of this like taking their hand. Take their hand and lead them for support. Sandra, I could feel my whole body slow down so I could match them. Oh, simply that reflection. You are enough, followed with the big warm embrace. Instant connection. Okay, and Joanna puts like feeling the sweetness. It's precious. It's precious when someone tells us what's truly there. The self, like someone being so self-exposing and vulnerable. And this was someone else had that reflection already. Like all of a sudden, it allows us, it's that heart opening of like, okay, now this is just admirable and instant connection and expansion. Heart is open. Do we want to keep playing or do we feel like we get it? Yeah. And so we can, and again, we can even like, most of you just did these so deliciously turned on, but like, like, come here. Oh my God, I can feel you. Oh my God, the moment that you opened to me, I just felt you like pull me towards you. It can also be this moment where we can say, like, oh my God, I do not want perfection. I'm just so grateful that you just like gave me this access. You like, because there's that opening to you, right? I've got you now. Ah, okay. I've got goosebumps. So, um, did you feel that shift? Right? Nothing about the circumstances changed. You didn't suddenly become more energized. You didn't suddenly become more ready or more fucking perfect. For those of us who like, but it has to be perfect. You just literally stopped resisting the moment you were in so that pleasure could find you. Right? It's like allowing ourselves to be right with the resistance. We didn't try to say or take away the fact that we were in a moment of resistance. It was just we got right with it. We got okay with the fact that there's resistance. And that shift in the second one was I'm in resistance, but what can I open? Like just that willingness, right? And in that willingness to be present, the willingness to show up. This is why I love that hand over pussy practice that I gave Katie the other day. Like the really like at every hour, does not have to be every hour, but I mean, there will be so much response. And especially if we are checking in with pussy with our pleasure every hour, that's every hour we're choosing to say, I'm open. I just want you to know I'm here. Right. And so once we open that door and say, pleasure, I'm open to you finding me, right? We allow ourselves to be touched. We allow ourselves to be responded to. We allow for feelings and sensation to move through us. Right? Like everybody felt that. I mean, all of the things that you just shared, this is such a like minute pleasure practice we played with today, because as we played with that, everyone, this is why I'm like, sorry for all the empaths, right? Because you could feel it immediately, like the sinking part and the in the resistance, and when we're just experiencing someone just be totally shut down to us versus someone who tells us they're in shut down but is like, but I'm going to be here. I'm also going to try showing up. We felt that heart expansion, like the connection. We're on screen, but it was like we could almost feel ourselves reaching out to embrace each other. And so this is the power. And this is the difference that most people will miss, right? Because it's not about being perfect. It's not about having to like have this expectation that we're always going to be fully on. That's so insane for us to do that to ourselves. I mean, we are women with hormonal cycles. Like we have no way around escaping this if we're going to entrain ourselves with we must be fully on at any point. right? It's about whether you're going to choose to be available. Resistance says, I will show up, but I'm closed. And we got to experience what that's like, right? Like it's just going to chase. This is the opposite of magnetism. Our resistance will just chase things away. Devotion says, I'm not fully open, but I'm here and willing. And that is the tiny shift that changes what we are allowing life to give us. So remember, pleasure isn't something we're here to chase. I think often because it's something that we can create. Because it's within us, but that's also why we don't have to chase it, right? It's just simply something that responds to how available we are. And also, pleasure is incredibly generous, as we also have probably experienced many times. But she is not desperate, right? She's not going to be desperately begging for us to let her in because she's just like any other person. It's just like any other relationship. So she won't force herself into a closed body. She is more generous probably than many people, and she will wait, but she is there for us once we soften, because that's when she sees that in and being able to like, oh, here's where I can take her somewhere. So let's just do a couple frames through that experience for yourself. What did you learn? What did you notice? Mooney.
That was just so powerful and so healing. I said it in the chat, but I had a recent interaction with an ex where he said that he didn't have the capacity. And so that brought up all of that hurt. And just to get this tool of the genius of how to use it with other people, how to use it with myself, how to personify all of these things that we want, and be able to play with personifying that is just so, so, so powerful. I'm really, really grateful. And I feel the serendipity of being here to receive that today.
Oof, so good. Yeah. And I love how you just brought in that play piece. And that is the genius, like why wouldn't we want to just make it playful? And that the play we can access on both sides, right? Like, okay, this ex who wants to come at us and make us feel like crap, well, we can respond to that in two ways, right? How do you get to just hold on to the power of play and tease in that moment? Maybe you don't want to, but yeah, that play takeaway is so, so powerful. Thank you. Lee.
Mine is kind of similar to Mooney's, except for it's more of an ongoing scenario in my life. Like when my partner is not interested or doesn't have capacity for me, I'm no longer just like sitting around waiting for pleasure. I find it on my own. And then just the practice of really reaching for pleasure, no matter what kind of emotion is present for myself, has really allowed me to be a more kind and compassionate person towards myself and other people and witnessing them. So, like, I'm no longer coming up with some shitty story that he doesn't want to be sensual or sexual or like whatever. I'm just like, oh, he's in his own thing, and give the space that's needed for that and just take care of myself in ways that before I used to like come up with a story of like what is wrong with me, or maybe he doesn't want me, or there's like some kind of other shit going on, or is he cheating, or like, I could go on a long list of like lifetime of crap that would kind of come up in relationship. And I want to say that being able to flip that script and finding my own like relationship with my pleasure inside myself has really helped with that.
And again, just that is the mastery. And I love what you said too, like we can reach for pleasure no matter what we're feeling. Like we can be enraged and turned on. We can be in grief and be turned on. We can be rejected and be turned on. We can be in pleasure and turned on, right? But we seem to think that we have to like be in pleasure to feel turn on. And it's so powerful for us to actually realize that if we just meet ourselves where, we played with in resistance today, but that's like your point is so powerful because it's resistance can be any of those things that we might term as like bad experiences. Um, and it's that power of flipping the script and being like, okay, what feels good in this moment? What would feel good in this grief? I also love your point too of like we get to take our pleasure into our own hands. I feel like this is so powerful because sometimes we get so good at our own pleasure and then it's like we like our partners were like, actually, you know what? I can have a better time on my own. But that's powerful. That's powerful too, because then we get to be in control of and very discerning of the level of pleasure that we are willing to tolerate for men. Oh, Lexiana, and then Nicole.
My Scorpio moon hates this conversation. um, but I am always working with like holding multiple things to be true. And so I think that's the key piece for me in like allowing the conversation with pleasure when I am feeling resistance. Um, because I have like an instinctual drive to be like, no, I'm in resistance right now, or no, I'm like super sad, or I'm in grief, and it's like one thing, all or nothing, and finding that opening where I don't have to like suddenly feel super turned on and like amazing and beautiful. However, like it can be there with this and they can have a dialogue. Like that for me, that process of like again balance is super healing and opens my perspective a lot.
So good. And I love this awareness too of your Scorpio moon. Like, okay, maybe like it sounds like too, like I'm just in pleasure with being in resistance because that lights something for me. So, like that's okay too. You're gonna be the tease,
Mhm.
perhaps. Yeah, so good. Nicole.
I just appreciate the actual, like, there's so much around, like, just be in your resistance. And I, like, never really felt like, what does that actually mean to, like, just be with my resistance? And I just, like, really appreciate the frame of pleasure as a person. I've never, relatively new to your world, but, like, I've never heard of someone. And when you flip that script of, like, well, if I was saying these things to a person, like how much more damaging it feels. And so just appreciate like that perspective and the like, how do we actually be with the resistance? Because that's pretty much where I'm living.
Yeah.
And yeah, so just appreciate the reframe and the actual like practical, like what does it even mean to be with the resistance? So
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. And that's, like, you can put a little crown on and you can just be the queen of resistance right now. But that's the little reach, right? Like, okay, this is so it's like not trying to get out of, well, I'm so sick and tired of being in resistance, or I'm so sick and tired of like the effort or whatever, right? Like it's like, actually, I'm gonna put the crown on. I am the queen of resistance right now. And what it's just it's meeting yourself there, right? Like instead of saying I've got to change this, like you don't need to change that about yourself. And so just meeting it and figuring out how to turn it on in that place is so powerful. And we'll play. I love like even with a lot of the SWA tools to bring in that concept of like personifying something. I love doing it with so many of the tools the biff crawl, like actually picturing the thing that you're biffing as a person in front of you, like and picturing them at like the doorway, like about wanting to walk away from you makes the biff crawl feel so much more powerful. Or putting you're longing for abundance or just like whatever your next desire is, putting it in a chair and like doing a strip tease for it and teasing it. It's so much more powerful. So, so many ways we can play with that personification piece. Oh my goddesses, this was so good. In the threads, of course, share other things after you process and play with this, any other big things, realizations, shifts. I always love to hear them. And if you want more, there is the erotic temple on it's switched from Thursdays to Tuesdays for right now. So it's Tuesdays at 2:30. So if you would like a devoted half hour where we are it's just we come in, we brag, we do a pleasure practice, and then dance out. So if you want that space to just really get deep into your turn on, it's a great place to be. And next week, I will be seeing you from Costa Rica. I'm in Costa Rica for a goddess business retreat. So see you next Wednesday at 2. And again, if you have any requests for anything on this on these trainings, send them my way. I always love to hear. All right, goddesses, let's dance out.
Toxic when you wash over me. Feel your red shade on your skin beneath the sheets. Make me grow when your legs are open wide. Feel your touch, everything that down my spine. Ooh, you are my woman. You are my woman. And
Love you, goddesses.
you are my woman. You are my woman.